Welcome to 2026, and WWE celebrated by giving us 3 hours of SmackDown again. And the funniest part is, they still booked it like they were afraid of wrestling on their wrestling show. Or in return, just to hit Miz with two RKOs, Cody and Drew turned into a lighter and bust feud. Julia finally won gold again, and the blow-off to Priest versus Black ended with Black getting locked in an ambulance like a mid-card timeout. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the T-Drop, the only wrestling breakdown show where we just don't call out the spots. We call out the chaos with no soft behavior. So let's get into it. We open with Cody. We open with Cody and Drew recap, and we do the typical WWE common formula of people arriving to the arena in confirmation that Priest versus Black is an ambulance match. Then The Miz walks through the crowd like he's about to drop the pipe bomb of grievances. He's mad that Cena didn't give him a moment. The locker room didn't worship him as a mentor. Mad he didn't get cast in a movie. And then Buffalo starts chanting tiny balls. That's when Randy Orton returns, mercifully like an adult walking into a room full of nonsense. Orton takes his sweet time because 3 hours means entrances can now qualify as a cardio workout. Then we get the punchline. Miz tries to align with Orton by saying, we're going to do Miz KO. And Orton obviously hits him with an RKO. The crowd wants another. WWE says we've got time because it's 3 hours. So Orton hits another RKO, says Happy New Year's, and walks out. Now, here's our takeaway. Orton returns, got the pop, but this was pure runtime management. Fun, but also we're already padding the show up. And yes, I don't understand why he was complaining about not being in a movie. I think he just meant he wasn't in a recent movie, because he's obviously done movies before. But as you can tell, if you don't know by now, most of Miz's movies are direct to DVD, which I guess at this point going is as bad as going to Tubi or becoming a Tubi exclusive. I think he's mad that he's not a Hollywood level caliber. But anyway, we move on. We get the big women's tag. Io, Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa versus Nia, Lash Legend, Asuka, and Kairi. This starts hot. Heels jump. The faces. They isolate Rhea and Asuka. Gets her kicks in. And Bliss hits the cannonball to the floor. But the truth is, this match had the same problem the whole show had. Commercials. Commercials murdered the rhythm of the show. We get momentum, then break. Come back, someone's selling something new. Then break, then again. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. If they have 3 hours, they should be able to manage these commercials better. But hey, we've been seeing this BS for years now. Why are we complaining now? Because we're paying for all this, I guess, at this point. We have to get cable to watch SmackDown now. That's a must. There's no local shit. But anyway. He does have a skill issue. Charlotte gets the hot tag run. Nia does Nia things. Io gets shine. Lash gets a big caught you in midair pump kick. Nice near fall. The finish was smart. Rhea kills Kairi with the headbutt with a riptide. Tags Io over the moonsault and ends it. And that's the match. It was a solid match, but it felt overlong and over familiar. These 8 have missed too much lately. I mean, you can see this with a cell or with a cage at Survivor Series War Games. It's pretty much almost the same competitors here. Still, Io and Rhea winning keeps Monday's tag title match heated. So if anything, this was to help the tag title for Monday. But why do it on SmackDown and not Raw? This doesn't help SmackDown at all. Anyway, we move backstage. Sorry. We move backstage. Nick Aldis talks to Jordynne Grace about being on SmackDown. Chelsea Green interrupts like a human pop-up ad. Aldis threatens to strip her if she won't do her job, which is defending the title. That's the energy of a 3-hour show now. Needs authority, stakes, and short bursts. So hopefully we get a title match, which we end up doing. Now, sorry, one of the big moments of the night. Kit Wilson comes out, and if you don't know who Kit Wilson is, he was one half of the tag team of Pretty Deadly. Kit Wilson comes out as a redefined person. He comes out as a masculinity person and insulting Buffalo left and right. Sorry, Jesus. Why no tea is helping me out right now. So, one half of Pretty Deadly has now become a singles competitor. He insults people and insults Buffalo. Buffalo doesn't like it, and all of a sudden you hear a woo, woo, woo. But then you see the title, the Titantron showing Zack Ryder. But then all of a sudden, like that, the music stops. And then the screen goes black. And then a new song appears, and then you see the new Titantron showing the names Matt Cardona. So then, we finally get Matt Cardona showing up. So Matt Cardona shows up, and a match happens. It's a fine match, but the honest version is this should have been a clean squash or a quicker segment. Cardona wins eventually with the radio silence, and he gets the match as his first big main event full-time roster takeaway, because he was here a few months ago during the Cena tour, or the Cena tournament, whatever we want to call it. So it's a good surprise pop for Cardona, but the match meandered a bit. Another sign the show's fighting the clock. Why need 2 hours if we're going to do this? We could have done this in a shorter time, but they wanted 3 hours. Now we got to spread everything 5 hours. So in a 2-hour show, this could have been easily a squash match, which should have been, but to show that Cardona's presence. I hope when Cardona has his first mic session, he shows up not as a face. We don't need Cardona as a face. We need him as a heel. We need Indies heel Cardona on SmackDown, and this is why. Because it could fit perfectly well as a narrative. He left because when he left, he was a face. He was getting mistreated. He was getting abused and used by a woman. It was it? I forgot who it was, but then he got his title taken that he won in WrestleMania in less than a day. He was a punching bag when he was Zack Ryder. He came back redefined as Matt Cardona, someone who doesn't take any crap from anyone. And he's going to send receipts to everyone that's done him wrong when he left. And that should be the storyline. He should be a heel. He should show his dominance. He should hate the fans. But that's me. I would love a heel Matt Cardona. Because he's good at it. He's amazing at it. Anyway, Sammy comes out and tells a story about watching Cena's retirement match with his son. So he wasn't there, I guess. Oh no, he was there. He was on ringside. His kid asked about Cena's 17th title. Then asked, how many world titles have you won? And Sammy had to say none. That's real. That's human of him. And Sammy uses it to declare that in 2026, he's winning the WWE title. Then Trick Williams interrupts him. You hear the whoop that Trick chants hit the arena. Trick's cocky, cutting the line, taking like he's already champ. Sammy's response is perfect. You're talented, but you haven't been humbled. And Sammy's ready to teach that lesson. This is one of the better New Year equals new mission statements promos WWE's done in a minute. Sammy finally has a North Star again. Maybe he'll win the Royal Rumble and get that match moment he wanted at WrestleMania. We will see. I mean, it makes sense with it being in Saudi. He's always been applauded in Saudi, but will they give it to him? Who knows? But we move on. Carmelo Hayes, our new U.S. champ, defending the U.S. title against Gargano with Candice on ringside. They give them a ton of time, and it's good. But here's the issue. Because of the breaks, the commercial breaks, what we actually see is impact move, commercial, near fall, commercial, reset, commercial, break, reset, commercial, repeat, and so on and so forth. Still, Hayes looked like a champion. Gargano wrestled like a guy who wants to prove he's still that guy. And the finish, first 48 nut plus nothing but net. Hayes retains. The US title is doing the heavy lifting on SmackDown, and it's been doing it for a while now. But this match would have hit harder 3 minutes shorter with less interruptions. Again, if we're going to do a SmackDown that's 3 hours, we need to manage these commercials better. I don't know how they can do it, but we will just have to wait and find out how they can do it. Or maybe they won't do it and not care. Anyway, one of the other big segments of SmackDown. Cody's promo starts strong. Mentality, dominance, envy, calls Drew envy incarnate. Then Drew appears on screen and reveals the 3 stages of hell match that they will have soon. I don't know when. Somewhere they were going to do it in Europe, I guess. The first one being straight wrestling. Then false count anywhere. Then, if necessary, a steel cage. That's extremely predictable of them when it comes to this, but functional, I guess, for WWE. Then Drew crosses into how far are we going type of territory. Now, he reveals he was by Cody's truck. And he went into Cody's truck. So he's at Cody's truck. He breaks out a dusty photo. And later shows it to Cody. And he breaks the frame or whatever. And he has the picture. Cody runs to go find him at the bus. When he gets there, security's trying to stop him, but you realize Drew is not there. So where is Drew? You see Drew back in the ring. So Cody, of course, runs back to the arena. He still has the Dusty photo with him. It's a photo of Dusty and Cody together. It's definitely right before his father unfortunately passed away. So Dusty, he has a Dusty photo and later tries to burn it. But he actually does. I don't know why I said I try. So he burns it in the ring while Cody is restrained by security. It's a very strong angle. It is a little stretch, but it's strong regardless. And the lighter struggling to catch that photo was hilarious. He had a hard time lighting that photo. But it is what it is. The undercuts, that undercuts the menace. You can't be the villain and also look like you're trying to light a birthday candle in the wind. But regardless of the hiccups in this promo, the emotion is there. The presentation is a little rushed, but it's getting to the point. This match is going to kick, and it's going to go in all cylinders when it comes to emotion. I hope they start promoting this better. Like, tell me when it's going to happen, because I don't know still. Maybe I'm not been paying attention. Yeah, so Drew is, if no one saw a few weeks back, The agreement with Aldis for Drew was if Drew agrees to come back, he will get a title opportunity against Cody. The other stipulation of of him returning is that it will be a match of his choosing, which he chose 3 Stages of Hell, and then it will be also that the stipulation is until that match, Cody cannot touch him, otherwise he loses the title. A gimmick storyline that we've seen in the past, nothing new, but it's something maybe new generation is not used to, so they're trying to retell it in a different way. But this time with 3 Stages of Hell. And as of this past Friday, Drew announced the 3 Stages of Hell. This is happening in one of the international tours. So I think it's a SmackDown. After this week, WWE is going abroad for a few weeks for a tour in Europe, I believe, until they have to go to Saudi. So one of those SmackDowns, they will go for the title championship. Maybe it's gonna end in a draw. I don't know how it can end in a draw. It says 3 Stages of Hell. But I don't know. I don't. I was hoping for a better match, but whatever. We move on. Chelsea Green versus Julia for the United States Women's Championship. The crowd is weirdly pro Chelsea because her character is obviously over, especially with what happened earlier that night with her husband. So Julia ends up wrestling with a meaner edge, and it worked. And honestly, and the finish ruled out. Avalanche butterfly suplex to the Northern Light Bomb. Julia wins the title. Pyro hits. They want her to feel important because previously when she had the title, they made her not look important while she was holding the title. So hopefully this time they don't make that same mistake. Otherwise, after this, Julia's done. I guess they were listening to people on the internet because they were upset how they treated Julia's previous title run, that they're doing another opportunity. Honestly, that's good. Hopefully Julia works with creative and figuring out what's next, because otherwise we're going to hit the same bump as before. Now, this is what they should have done earlier. Let Julia wrestle like a killer and stop forcing the smile for the crowd energy. Let her be a heel. If Chelsea is over, then make Julia a heel. Julia can handle heel. She can probably do it much better than Chelsea can. Chelsea's like a goofy heel. Julia can be a lethal heel. Just let her do it. But anyway, congrats to her. Let's move on. Main event. Priest versus Black in an ambulance match. The early brawling is good. The stretcher spots worked. Black hits the Meteora, the table bumps, the chair punch spots look safe, but clean. Then the pacing issue hits again with commercials after commercials. It feels like a 20-minute match stretched longer because the show is 3 hours and they want the main event to feel big. The best chaos beat that happened in this match was Zelina goes to the ambulance and Rhea Ripley is there. Of course. What do you expect? Terror Tower twins, whatever. Rhea chases her down all the way to the ring, Riptide, and done. Priest wins with the big visuals. He does a razor's edge onto the windshield of the ambulance. Black through the then he throws him through a stack tables while he's on top. Then Black gets shoved into the ambulance and he shuts the doors. If this is truly the blow up for these two, Aleister Black losing, this feels like another ceiling reminder, not a fresh chapter. It was a good effort, good visuals, but the ending screams Priest move on, Black stays where it is, which honestly I feel like it should have been the other way around because they're trying to push Aleister Black, but it looks like I don't know where he's going now. And it's fine. Priest is going to move up. It's a good momentum for him at the Rumble. But what about Aleister now? So we'll see. So this 3-hour SmackDown justified itself. What worked? Orton returns pop. You get a nice pop as his return. Sammy's 2026 mission statement. Another thing that worked. Hayes retaining the U.S. title. Another thing that worked. But another thing that worked was Julia winning the belt. Probably the best call of her career right now. What didn't work? Pacing and breaking the structure, killing match flow. So all these commercials they need, or whatever they've been doing, has been not working. Long gap between the matches, between all the promos. The main event, it felt stretched, and Black's momentum feeling trapped again. We get a new year with a new 3-hour SmackDown, but it's the same SmackDown issue. They got the pieces. They just don't always pace the story like they believe in it. Like, subscribe, comment.